Hi, Mark Victorsen from Pacific Golf Club. Today I thought I'd do a review on the new Titleist 7 Vokey Wedges. Now there's 6 different grinds within that Vokey family, and there's in total 23 wedges of varying bounce and design and loft configuration. So they all have a different sort of role to play. The one that's probably the least most successful here at Pacific, because generally we've got fairly soft ground conditions, and after all the rain we've had, it's pretty soft at the moment, but also we've got quite longish Bermuda grass around our greens, so it's fairly soft conditions underneath. So the L grind, which is available in a 58 and a 60, is probably our least most popular, but these are certainly very, very popular wedges. I personally use a Vokey 50, a 56 and a 60 in different grinds. So I've got a 50 in a full swing grind, so an F grind. I've got a 56 for my longish bunker shots and pitches, that is an S grind, okay, which is a standard grind, and I've got a K grind 60, which is a very big broad base 60 degree, which is terrific for getting the club through that sand rather than digging into it. So they are a K grind, an S grind. An S grind has a standard sort of grind on the bottom, that's what the designation is, but it's got a little bit of the back of the club, a relief here that's taken away, which allows a player, basically it was named after Steve Stricker, who's one of those fantastic wedge players in the United States, who really never really opened the club face too much, but would modify shaft angle to create a little bit more loft or a little bit less loft just through shaft angle at the moment of impact. So that S grind is for that. The K grind's got that lovely big bounce and big sole on the bottom, which is, I think, fantastic, not just for amateur golfers, but for pros like me. I love the K grind. Adam Scott uses a K grind as well. And the F grind is for those players, and that's typically in those lower lofts, things like the 40, 48s, 50s, 52s. You can get an F grind in those, and that's for somebody who really isn't, is a big, strong wedge player. Somebody hits a full shot with those type of wedges. So lots of different configurations. As I say, 23 within the Vokey family. With the advent of all of the irons getting stronger in lofts. You know, when I first started playing, a pitching wedge was 50 degrees. My current pitching wedge is 43. So effectively, it's a weak 8 iron compared to 40 years ago. So there's a big gap between the pitching wedges and the sand wedges typically, and that's where some of those wedges around 50, 52 fit in, because they fill that gap. That's why that term gap wedge came about, because there was a gap created between the strong pitching wedges and the sand iron, which is typically 56 degrees to get you out of the bunker. So come in and have a look at the Vokey wedge system, the Titleist 7s. There's a reason why most of the best players in the world use these wedges. They are just fantastic. Lots of different configurations. Talk to the staff about the style of player you are, whether you're somebody who's a digger, somebody who slides the club along, what sort of grass and turf conditions and sand conditions you typically play in, and our guys can advise you.